Man, this series kicks ass. What is there left to say? I feel lucky just to have grown up with these games and end up with powerful memories of all the incredible moments that define this wonderful series. So many moments that stick out in our minds, moments that make us laugh, make us cry, give us chills, or just make us say, holy crap, that was awesome. And I'm here to take you back down memory lane to some of the most memorable and epic moments of our favorite series. Now obviously this isn't a list that everyone's gonna agree on, and I won't pretend my picks are the definitive choices or anything. I'm not even trying to be objective, these are just the moments that were the most memorable to me. But I suspect that a lot of these are gonna be ones that we all share as some of our favorite moments. So don't get mad that I left out your personal favorite. Remember, I could only fit 15, so there couldn't possibly be room for everything. So as always, leave a comment with some of your own favorite moments, or maybe just your all-time favorite moment and why. Oh, and as a forewarning, this list is probably going to be dominated by 3D Zelda games. There's no reason for that, it just kind of worked out that way. And one last thing before we jump in, it's pretty hard to define a moment. Is there like a time limit on how long a moment can be? Does it have to be in the story, or can it be like a personal experience that not everyone will have? I don't know and I don't care, so let's get started. I'm only doing one honorable mention because if I did more I'm gonna get a bazillion people yelling at me like, you didn't include this and you didn't even have it as an honorable mention. So instead of shooting myself in the foot like that, I'm just gonna do the one. This didn't make the list because it's kind of unorthodox and I don't think I share this experience with a lot of people. But anyways, this story starts with me, 15 years ago, fighting Ganon for the first time. I can't fucking kill this guy. How the hell do you kill this guy? Oh my god, I wish I didn't skip all the text explaining how to kill this guy, but give me a break, I'm 5. You think I read the damn text? Oh god, this is impossible. Oh, there we go. Fast forward a couple years, now here I am, facing Phantom Ganon for the first time. Oh my god, how do you kill this guy? He keeps dodging the arrows. This is freaking impossible. I hate this stupid game. And then boom! It hits me. Oh, it's just like Ganon in A Link to the Past. Oh my god, that's fucking cool. I love this game. Okay, this should be easy from here out. Oh shit! He hits it back? That never happened in A Link to the Past. I know this is kind of dumb, but that one moment where Phantom Ganon hits back his shot just stuck out in my mind so much. That's the moment where I started to think of Ocarina of Time as maybe even better than A Link to the Past, which back then I would have never thought possible. It took this one awesome concept from A Link to the Past and basically just showed it up, like, look, this game doesn't fuck around. If anyone has a sort of stupid moment like that from their childhood that just stuck in your mind for some reason, please tell me in a comment, because I'm super curious about other people's experience with the series. Alright, enough nonsense, on to the list. We begin the list of greatest moments in the Zelda series with the worst game in the Zelda series. Now there have always been a couple things I give Phantom Hourglass credit for, and pretty much all of them have to do with this guy, who might just be my favorite character in the whole series. For instance, his theme is freaking awesome. And he's also one of maybe 3 or 4 characters in the series that undergo actual character development. And then there's moments like this. Oh god, I could care less about the stupid ass plot narrative or whatever the hell's going on in this scene, but this one moment just makes me laugh my ass off. Oh god, I never get tired of that. And it's so memorable just because of the boringness of this scene, like, good god, I don't give 2 dicks about whatever the hell this old guy is droning on about, so my brain is kind of numb and desensitized, and then it hits you with this fucking masterpiece of humor. Maybe I'm just a sucker for stupid slapstick, but while you criticize me for that, I'm gonna be over here watching this a couple more times. Here's another special reenactment of my first time playing through my favorite game of all time. Oh god, stop fucking talking, the scene has been going on for like 6 hours, let me play the damn game! Ah, finally. No, wait, fuck! Are you kidding me? More fucking words? Shut the hell up, you stupid chick. I don't care. I just want to play the game. Shut up. Shut up. Ah, finally. Words, words, more words. Oh, wait. Sheik is supposed to be a dude? Huh. Who would have fooled me? Words, words, words. Oh, what's going on? Oh, shit. Yeah, I kind of forgot Zelda was in this game, but yeah, alright, that's cool. I knew Sheik was a chick. Nowadays, everybody knows that Sheik is Zelda, and nowadays, everybody will want to talk that they got something. Never mind, where was I? But back then, we didn't know. I mean, this was pre-Melee, and we were kids who couldn't predict fairly obvious plot twists. I admit this moment only makes the list because of sheer nostalgia, but so what? As a kid I was more critical than I am now, so when a moment wows me like that, you know it's special. I think everybody who played Ocarina as a kid remembers this scene clearly, and remembers the shock and excitement and the feeling of relief that Sheik actually wasn't a dude so you could find her attractive again. Or maybe that was just me. Oh yeah, now we're getting serious. This game is freaking awesome. Like I can't come up with enough adjectives to describe how good this game is. And wouldn't you know, Majora's Mask is chock full of awesome moments. Who can forget the first time you flip Stone Tower upside down? Or when Kafei and Anju get married? Or getting that badass gilded sword? Damn. You know what? This video can wait. I'm gonna go play this game all the way through. So you've awakened all 4 giants and it's time to fucking save the world. This entire scene is epic, where the moon's eyes start glowing and then Majora's Mask starts talking, and then he flies up to the moon and you follow it psyched as hell. Aw shit, we're actually going into the moon itself? This is gonna be epic! And what the fuck is this? Oh god, just the shock of this moment, like what are your expectations going up into the moon? Probably something scary or something, but finding out it's a peaceful, serene field is just wonderful. You could tell Nintendo had all sorts of fun making this game, and these kind of moments are what define Majora's Mask. Oh, and then you get to torture yourself with the Goron rolling stage. Alright, time for another blast from the past. Or blast from A Link to the Past. So this is maybe my 3rd or 4th time facing Aghanim, who is obviously not the final boss of this game, but tell that to 5-year-old me, because I didn't know shit. Just the revelation of finding out how to beat him really sticks out in my mind, but it's also written in text earlier in the game. But no, the moment that really got me was after finally beating him. I'm fucking tense and shaking, and after a year of playing this game non-stop, I finally delivered the game-ending blow against Aghanim. And yeah, not so much. This is easily my strongest memory of A Link to the Past, the game that defined my entire frickin' childhood. Just that shock, like I was speechless. There were just no words. And now 15 years later, I still can't come up with words to describe that feeling. I was just feeling like every emotion a 5-year-old is capable of. Seriously, Brad Pitt was under less stress when his girlfriend's head was delivered to him in a box than I was at this moment. But the important thing was, the underlying feeling I had was that of excitement and happiness. My favorite game was not even close to being over. Just a powerful memory from my childhood, and still to this day one of the best moments in the series. So apparently I prefer hilarious characters to more serious ones like Minda, because my second favorite character in the series is this Pompadour-esque motherfucker. Oh, Groose, how I love Groose, and how I love his theme. He's so misunderstood, too. Yeah, he's a bully, but what choice does he have? The girl he's in love with is all over this lazy, scrawny douchebag. He has to act that way because the pain is too much.
I see you driving round town with the girl I love, and I'm like, fuck you.
So yeah, Groose is a great and hilarious character, and that's what makes this moment so hysterical. And it's so unexpected, like you're just flying around doing your normal thing and then this just happens out of nowhere, and it is freaking hilarious. Oh, and Link's face is just... It's worth chugging through the fucking swamp of flaws to get to awesome moments like this one. Rock on, Skyward Sword. This might come as a shock to some, but I think Twilight Princess is a good game. Damn good. A lot of things Twilight Princess does are among the best in the series, which just makes its overly abundant flaws stick out even more. Aw, hell yeah, running around slashing these little bitches with the sword. Oh, God, come on, what the fuck? Why the fuck does he stop moving when he hits something? That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. How are you supposed to run around fucking up all these little beasties if you have to stop swinging every other second? And that's the story of Twilight Princess for me. Within the course of a few seconds, I'm sucked into something awesome only to get pulled right back to reality with some retarded shit like that. So why am I bringing this up, you ask? Because my next favorite moment in the series I would actually have put much higher if not for this phenomenon. So you finally gotten all 3 few shadows, and then in the very next scene this happens. Oh hell yeah. This is still early in the game when Zant was still a badass. And good god, that scream when you run into him. I could listen to that all day. So Zant attacks Midna, but I'm not entirely sure how, because I don't know what the hell's going on in this scene. Is he controlling Linebeck to attack her, or is Linebeck supposed to be like attacking Zant, but Midna is in the way? I don't know. The point is, Zant wins, and now Midna is close to dying. This is really a touching scene because Midna is indeed a great character, and the atmosphere and oh god, the music, especially the music, just sets the mood so well. It's called Midna's Desperate Hour, and you really get immersed in this moment, like nothing else even crosses your mind. You have to get to Zelda, and you have to get there fast. This should be the best moment in the game. And then this happens. Immersion shattered, sucked right back into reality. How the fuck did they fuck that up? God damn, what better way to break the tension than stop the beautiful mood-setting music and replace it with that stupid little enemy tune every 5 seconds? This may seem trivial, this may seem beyond nitpicky, but no, it's really a fundamental flaw. This was Twilight Princess's moment. When you look back on this game, you should remember this moment as the most powerful and most intense in the whole game. But no, I look back and remember just being pissed off. You can't get immersed in a moment when the music keeps switching to something completely out of place every 5 seconds. Check it out. Doesn't work, does it? And it's not like I'm rooting against Twilight Princess. It's not like I have some preconceived bias against this game like everyone seems to think. No, I just judge it based on my experience. How did they miss that? How did they not notice during playtesting? I understand developers have a hard time immersing themselves in something they created because they know all the inner workings of making it, but the people they hired to playtest should have noticed this. But oh well. It still doesn't boot this moment from the list because the scene where you get ambushed by Zant is still awesome, and the atmosphere of Midna's Desperate Hour is still there. I only hate out of love. Hold up, Twilight Princess, I ain't finished with you yet. So after you get past this dreadful padding, which at least has some nice music and aesthetics but had already been done before in the game, you run back to this spot where you grabbed the Master Sword earlier and thrust it into the pedestal, which makes the statue disappear. I have to wonder why this ability is only opened up to you now and not last time you were here, but whatever. It's been established in Zelda games that thrusting a sword back into its pedestal does something awesome. In Ocarina of Time, of course, it sends you back in time, and in Minish Cap it infused the sword with the power of an element. So right off the bat my interest is piqued. Oh, a door leading to nowhere, but obviously leads somewhere. Should be interesting. Oh hell yes! It leads back to the Temple of Time complete with the music and everything. I love this. This is a great homage. It's not really ripping off Ocarina of Time, it's more honoring the series' lineage in an awesome way. Ironically, I would have preferred if the Temple of Time looked identical to its Ocarina version. I mean, you're going back in time and the Master Sword is gone, which to me means that Link is out fucking up some chickens with it or something, so why would the temple look different? I don't know. Still an awesome moment though. This game is incredible fun. I don't care what you say, Spirit Tracks rocks. Especially this part. Oh yeah, heading into the creepy portal. Damn, this is some crazy shit. The atmosphere in the Dark Realm is just perfect, and you're driving all supersonic light speed and smashing into things. Then there's this battle against the Demon Train, which I guess is akin to the battle against the Ghost Ship in Phantom Hourglass, only way less sucky. But then there's this battle on top of the train. Oh yeah, now this is fucking intense. This is the first battle against Malladus, but it's Cole you have to worry about. He keeps throwing a bunch of shit at you while you try to inch your way towards the possessed Zelda, who looks awesome by the way. Good god, Cole is just insane. He's just laughing all over the place, and then he takes control of Zelda like a puppet. How often can you say you're getting attacked by 2 Zeldas at once? Oh, and this music. This is my favorite track in the game. It's just crazy. This battle is out of control. My first time it took me like a half hour just to reach Malladus. Then you shoot him with the light bow while he's all flying around and shit. It's crazy. The whole finale is just insane. That's probably why I love it so much. It's just a total shit show. I'm not as much a fan of the final battle against Malladus. The part where you have to protect Zelda from the flaming rocks is more annoying than anything. And then there's this spirit flute duet that, while a nice moment, is really pace-breaking. The very last part of the battle is good though, so it ends on a high note. But personally, I think either beef up this battle on the train to make it the final battle, or change the final battle a little, and this finale would have made a higher spot. But still, awesome moment from an awesome game. Okay, so for these final 7, I must admit I had a really hard time ranking. So I guess what I'm saying is, even though we're only at number 7, all of these are going to be extremely close together as the pinnacle of awesomeness. I can make a strong case for any of these to be number 1, so don't focus solely on the ranking, but rather focus on the awesomeness of this series. So with that in mind, let's head back to the worst Zelda game of all time. Oh yeah, Phantom Hourglass again. And I bet you could guess who's going to be at the center of this moment. This guy. So a few years ago on the Skyward Sword message board on GameFAQs, there was this ongoing Best in Series thread where every day we voted on for which game had the best items, story, dungeons, etc. And eventually we got to character development, which I had nominated with Phantom Hourglass in mind. And you know what? Twilight Princess won. Okay, fine, Midna is a great character, and there's definitely some development for her, but what, did people just forget about Linebeck? Yes, the answer is yes. Of course Phantom Hourglass is a terrible, terrible game, but you have to give credit where credit is due. And this one moment where Linebeck shakingly picks up the sword against Bellum is infinitely superior to anything Midna does in Twilight Princess. Midna's best moment is probably the part where she's close to dying, but all she asks from Zelda is to help Link. It's a nice moment, it really is. But this gave me chills my first time playing. A moment that can get me instantly invested in an otherwise abominable chore of a game is deserving of recognition. That's precisely why this is among my favorite moments in the whole series. But it doesn't stop there. Linebeck gets taken over and possessed by Bellum, and this is the only word he says before you're forced to fight him. Wow. That is extremely effective. Just fantastic writing for Linebeck. You could tell the writers really understood the character. It's no wonder he's my favorite in the series. On to the next one that could have easily taken the number 1 spot, but instead lands here at number 6, and it comes from Skyward Sword, which is currently under a lot of hate, but don't worry, that'll pass. This game has my favorite villain in the series in Girahim. Your first encounter with him could have easily made this list, or maybe this part. But the standout, the greatest moment in all of Skyward Sword, comes at the very end of the game. Girahim has just lost his mind. He's just like teleporting around Zelda for no reason as he frantically tries to resurrect Demise. Then he sends the Horde. This is really awesome because nothing like this has really been done before in a Zelda game. It's pretty intense your first time playing. Then when you reach Girahim, after some more of his wonderful dialogue, you get to fight him. Spoiler alert, this fight will pop up on my top 10 Zelda bosses list, so I won't talk too much about it. All I can say is, BOOM! God, that is so satisfying. Then you get more cinematic excellence. Again, these are the type of moments that make Skyward Sword such a great game while being so unbelievably flawed, but I'll get to that later. See, I don't really need to explain why this scene is awesome. It speaks for itself. Demise is like, fuck you, Girahim. Yeah, go Groose, go! God, I love this game. Okay, I have to bring this up, and I don't want to wait for my Skyward Sword review. This is a real problem. The fight with Demise should begin immediately. I talked about this in my Twilight Princess review a little bit. There shouldn't be a gap between the Zant and Ganondorf fights, and there shouldn't be a gap between the Girahim and Demise fights. Sure, it ups the difficulty, but they could have given you the option to save or refill your hearts or something, but Demise outright telling you to take your time and prepare before you fight him? Wow, that is stupid. This problem is somewhat shared by A Link to the Past, where after defeating Aghanim you don't have to fight Ganon right away. But it's not a big problem in that game because Ganon's spirit drops you off right at the pyramid, and so the only logical thing to do is get your ass down there. It's not like Ganon pops his head out of the pyramid and is like, yeah, you go take your time and prepare, I'll be here waiting. No. So why the fuck does Demise do it? Nintendo should hire me to fix their Zelda games. Pop me in, coach, I'm ready. This next one should be fairly obvious to anyone not unreasonably biased against Ocarina of Time. So you've collected the 3 spiritual stones and are heading back to the castle to show off your awesomeness to the cute princess girl. But then this scene happens. This is your first confrontation with Ganondorf, and he spouts some pretty generic I'm gonna take over the world shit. You don't pay too much attention because villains are always spouting random crap like that. But it's important because it's the beginning of a string of build-up. Then you dive into the moat and grab the Ocarina of Time, and you think, oh shit, this is important considering they named the freaking game after it. So now you're starting to get excited. You head to the Temple of Time and play the song to open the door, and god, this music is awesome. That's the Master Sword, which was a big deal in A Link to the Past, so now you're hyped as hell. And then this scene happens. Oh shit, that wasn't supposed to happen. And then oh shit, what the hell's going on in this cartoon? This part where you find out you've been sleeping for 7 years and aren't a kid anymore is awesome, because as a kid you don't want to be playing as a kid, you'd want to be playing as a badass. But the real kicker comes when you leave the Temple of Time. What the fuck is going on? Oh shit, what the hell happened? My first time playing through I thought this was a guard, so I went up to try to talk to him and Jesus! That's a re-dead! And if you were lucky enough to think to head to Hyrule Castle at this point, then you were treated to this awesome scene. This gave me chills my first time. It's extremely rare for a villain to actually accomplish anything in video games, let alone actually take over the world like he said he was going to. That's what makes Ocarina's story stand out in the series. It's just effective. All the fun and joyfulness of the first third of the game is gone and replaced with urgency and intensity. Now there's a real threat, not just a vague threat of a threat. The entire demeanor of the game changes, and nothing like this ever really happens in any other Zelda game. In fact, in some games it's completely flipped, like in Twilight Princess, where the world starts off scary and threatening, but by halfway through the twilight is gone, along with any legitimate threat or sense of urgency. This is the type of thing that makes Ocarina of Time a masterpiece. I'm putting two separate moments in this spot for two reasons. One, because they're very much related, and two, because I'm the one making the fucking video. So as you could probably guess from my masterful sound editing skills, for this entry we're heading back to a game that is so perfect it couldn't possibly have been made by humans. The story of Majora's Mask is probably the most intriguing of the whole series. Seriously, an evil looking moon on a collision course with the world, and you being powerless to stop it so you have to just keep going back in time over and over again? How is that not entertaining as all hell? This is one of the most destructive and catastrophic threats in any video game ever. And the best part is that it's always right there in front of you the whole game, constantly reminding you of how fucked you are. This will drive you to the brink of insanity. And I think everybody at some point chose to be a sick, twisted bastard and wait it out and watch the moon fucking murder everyone on the planet. Don't lie, you did it. In any case, we were treated to this lovely scene. Oh, hell yeah. It's not often you get to see the whole world go up in flames like that. And then the first thing you hear afterwards is the creepy laugh of the happy mask salesman. It's just freaking epic. All the other Zelda games only have a hypothetical end of the world scenario, but actually seeing it happen is what makes Majora's Mask so special. It simply does not give any fucks. And people have the balls to say Twilight Princess is darker than Majora's Mask. Please. But on the other end of the spectrum, we have the success story, which, while not as fun, contains an even greater moment. So after you've gone all Jesus on the world and prevented the apocalypse, this screen pops up. Could that possibly be any more effective? Could that have been worded any better? This is just genius. Dawn of a new day. I fucking love that. It's a screen you've been seeing the whole game, always reminding you of how much time you have left. It's so firmly ingrained in your mind by this point that you're half expecting the however many days remaining to pop up. And then you feel stupid. It's such a minor thing and easily could have been left out and no one would have been any the wiser, but just this one screen and this one line becomes one of the most memorable moments of the whole game, and for me, even the whole series. I love it. What, you think I'd forgotten about this game? No, because Wind Waker is incredible. While this entire game is memorable, this next moment will always stick out in our minds after playing it. Who would have expected this from such a colorful and innocent children's game? That is frickin' brutal. But for this spot, I'm considering the entire finale of Wind Waker, after that boring ascent up the castle chandeliers anyway. But the final scenes with Ganondorf and the ending is such a powerful sequence that there's no way it doesn't deserve a spot this high. First of all, this look on Link's face right here is priceless. I always found that extremely amusing. But then Ganondorf rushes Link and just starts beating the shit out of him. That's crazy. Who would have thought that probably the calmest version of Ganondorf thus far would be the one to start wailing on a child like that? Now this part I always found extremely hilarious. Oh, you fucked up, Ganondorf. Maybe you should have touched the Triforce before spouting your random villain crap, idiot. Then I love this part where Ganondorf pulls out his sword. It's like, wow, an actual sword duel with Ganondorf? For the first time in the series, and it's awesome. The atmosphere of this final fight with the water crashing down is just epic. But where the fuck did the king go? Seriously, where the hell is he? He showed up out of nowhere and then just left these two kids alone with Ganondorf.
I'm going to Gamelon for dinner.
And then he shows up again right after the battle. What an asshole! And finally we reach the ending, and it's satisfying and wonderful and makes you cry that the game is over. In terms of the overall legacy of the Zelda universe, Wind Waker tells one of the greatest tales. I love it. But that's not even the best moment from Wind Waker, is it? There's another moment that might have been more effective for some, or more specifically for those who didn't see it coming. I was lucky enough to get the full experience out of this series. Every moment that was meant to surprised me, and I never guessed what seemed like the most obvious of plot twists, like that Sheik thing. So in the opening of Wind Waker, when it's all talking about what happened in Ocarina of Time, and then says no one knows what became of that kingdom, I didn't think anything of it. I was like, it's gone, and I figured Wind Waker just took place in a faraway land. Or sea, I guess. Because by this point I was used to Zelda games not taking place in Hyrule. Majora's Mask tells a backstory about Ocarina even though it's not really relevant, and the Oracle games have Zelda and Ganon and mention Hyrule several times. So obviously you know what I'm getting at here. This is the scene where you travel beneath the Great Sea. Even if you did see this coming though, this scene is still phenomenal. Seeing the land that you spent hours exploring in Ocarina of Time just frozen in time beneath an ocean, it's just freaking cool. What else can you say about it? But if you were like me and didn't see this coming, it just makes it all the more awesome. Then you go down to the basement and pull out the Master Sword, which is always a great moment no matter what Zelda game you're playing. Except Oracle of Ages where King Zora just gives it to you. Where the fuck did he get that? And who does he think he is, fat asshole? Anyways, you pull the sword out and the castle springs to life. All the color is restored and you can go outside and have a look around. I wish you could explore the land beneath the sea, in the same way I wish you could explore the Twilight World in Twilight Princess. But oh well, in any case, this whole scene is just so incredible, and what a treat. This is just more Wind Waker Zelda lore greatness. For a long time I'd always thought of this as possibly the greatest moment in the whole series, but for me, there's one moment even better, one that I simply could not justify booting off the top spot. So if you were like me and played the original Legend of Zelda and A Link to the Past before you played Ocarina of Time, then you were familiar with the beast Ganon. I was a strange child in that I actually read the instruction manual for A Link to the Past, even though I never read the in-game text. The instruction manual has this awesome intro that explains the backstory to A Link to the Past, and mentions how Ganon used to be a human and his name was Ganondorf Dragmire, which I believe is the only time Ganondorf's last name is ever mentioned. So that's all super intriguing, and so my first time playing Ocarina of Time, when Zelda mentions Ganondorf's name for the first time, I'm like, oh hell yeah, that is fucking awesome. Right off the bat, I loved Ganondorf as a villain because he's both familiar yet brand new at the same time. Plus it was great just seeing the beast Ganon back when he was a human, and for the first time I start to see the whole lore of the series in perspective. But anyways, you probably know where I'm going with this. Fuck yes! Holy Jesus balls, is that epic! I'd imagine if Ocarina was your first Zelda game, which I know it was for a lot of people, then this scene wouldn't be near as effective because you weren't familiar with that beast Ganon, but for the rest of us, is there any way this didn't give you chills? No, this scene was made for people who played the other two games and were familiar with Ganon, and what a treat! Take note, Twilight Princess, this is fan service done well. I'm having a hard time coming up with words to describe how incredibly awesome seeing this for the first time was. How could anything else possibly deserve the #1 spot? Just writing the script I'm getting chills thinking about this scene and I'm not even watching the footage. This is made even more effective because of how epic the entire finale of Ocarina is. The fight with Ganondorf is awesome, the collapsing of the tower, and then Ganondorf bursting out of the rubble like he's about to explode. And I think my favorite thing about this entire sequence though is how every other boss in the game, including Ganondorf, had a title above their name, but this is like, fuck that, this is Ganon in all caps. He doesn't need a fucking title. You already know who he is, and he's gonna kick your ass. Oh, I fucking love it. I love this scene, I love this game, I love this series, I love you guys, and I'm out. Peace.
The end.